Today's trip, and a big part of this expedition for me, is to kind of rediscover these places that I got turned on to as a young man that really, I think, changed my life. And Isla Raza is definitely one of those places. It was the first big seabird colony I ever went to. That place, just, there's something about it. It's magical. It's this little tiny spot in the middle of the ocean, and it's just throbbing with life.
It was a little tough getting to the island. There is a lagoon, but because it was low tide, lots of rocks, so we ended up having to kind of jump off into the rocks with our cameras up in the air, and it was a little hairy getting on there.
It was one of the very first islands in the Gulf of California that was declared a wildlife sanctuary with the specific purpose to try to preserve the two species that breed there primarily, and that is the Heermann's gull and the Elegant Tern, both of which, better than 90% of the world's population of those two birds, breed solely on that one little island that's only about 1 square mile. So what we have here is an Elegant Tern, and most of these birds can live 15 to 20 years, and they come back to the islands and nest every year. This guy here is he's got a lot of meat on him, he's got fat, so I don't know how he would have died. He didn't starve to death. He's not a banded bird. He doesn't have any bands on his legs. They've been banding the terns here for the last 30 years. He's just here amongst the Heermann's gull's nest, so it's possible that he got mobbed by the Heermann's gulls and taken down. They're flying around in these tight, coordinated flocks. They're looking for a place to land where they can roost. What they'll do on the island here is, when they're ready to lay eggs, they'll form these flocks of many thousand birds, land in one collective spot, driving all the Heermann's gulls away, and then that's where they'll nest. Mexico choosing to preserve that island was really a commendable effort on their part to protect the spectacular natural history of the Gulf of California. So going there and seeing it today and seeing the changes that have gone on, where we saw elegant and royal terns at the entrance of the lagoon, we saw lots of Heermann's gulls, everything looked pretty normal. The usual sort of cacophony of bird sounds as we get onto the island, and then to walk over to the dry valley where normally there would be 5,000 to 10,000 breeding elegant terns at this time of year, and to see it completely bare of elegant terns with only a smattering of Heermann's gulls around the edge. What's happened is the elegant terns have abandoned Isla Raza. They did it the last 2 years, and apparently they've done it this year as well. Now, we don't know where they've gone. We know that there have been isolated clumps of elegant terns breeding on the Pacific coast in new places where people haven't seen them breed, from LA down to the islands off the Pacific side of Baja. This has been a huge change that's happened here, and the evidence is seeming to suggest that it has to do with global climate change. What's happened is not just the air temperature on planet Earth has been steadily increasing due to human activity, but also the sea temperature. And here in the Gulf, that change of sea temperature at this time of year, just a couple degrees, is enough to change the food chain enough that the birds don't have access to the food they need. And the result has been a complete collapse for the last 2 years on Isla Raza of these breeding colonies.